According to the National Payroll Institute, just under a quarter of British Columbians say they're living paycheck to paycheck. That figure is lower in Vancouver, but in Victoria, 45% of people are living that way. About a third of people in the province say they're overwhelmed by debt, and nearly 3 in 5 say they're concerned about housing costs. Week 1 of the BC election campaign, the initial pledges and promises has come to a close. Adrienne South has the highlights for us.
As the first week of the provincial election campaign comes to a close, the leaders of both major parties trying to open more doors, taking aim at BC's housing crisis. NDP leader David Eby on Vancouver Island with stops Friday in Cumberland, Parksville, Duncan and Victoria. Kicking off the day's campaign promise with Eby vowing that if his party is re-elected to government, they'll work to fast-track BC's factory-built home construction sector.
The homes that are built are more consistent and more efficient, and it's cheaper. You also really reduce the demands that are placed on the skilled trades that you're dependent on.
Meanwhile, Conservative leader John Rustad was in Surrey Friday, announcing a plan to tackle BC's housing crisis, announcing the Get BC Building Plan, promising to end the housing shortage.
What we will plan to do is we are going to be targeting to have 6-month time frame targets for zoning and permitting, and 3 months for getting a building permit.
No policy announcements for the Green Party on Friday. Recapping the first week of party policy platforms, political scientist Hamish Telford says both parties made significant announcements. This to end a major week 1 on the election campaign trail, with policy promises, close polls, jabs, and with some leaders really feeling the sting of the first week on the road.
It was a beat.
With the battle on the ground in key ridings heating up.
I've been very interested in watching David Eby's movements, and he has been going to critical ridings that the NDP want to hold. They are playing, in the first week of the campaign, defense.
Telford says the Green Party also made some key platform announcements, differentiating themselves from the two major parties.
I would say the Green Party has had some interesting announcements, not that they're getting much attention. We've talked about the BC Conservatives doubling down hard on harm reduction, promising to eliminate all supervised consumption sites. The NDP pivoting away from some of their own policies to appear more moderate, but the Greens going in the other direction, saying they will expand the harm reduction offerings.
Healthcare a top ticket, all parties looking to improve access to care. Key policies in week 1, the Rustad rebate, tax relief for renters and homeowners of up to $3,000 per month by the year 2029. NDP pledging $150 million in funding in BC trades, an act they say will boost trade apprentice seats from 26,000 to over 50,000. All this in just week 1 of the provincial election campaign. In Vancouver, Adrienne South, City News.